Come with me. A billionaire CEO saw a little girl sleeping at a bus stop. What he did the next day. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. At 2 a.m., a billionaire CEO stopped at a red light in the rain when he noticed something odd. A little black girl, no older than 7, curled up at a cold bus stop bench, soaking wet and fast asleep. He blinked, thinking maybe he imagined it. But when the light turned green and he slowly pulled over, he realized she was real and alone. No shoes, no bag, just her tiny arms wrapped around herself. The next day, he walked into a press conference and shocked the entire nation. Who was this girl, and why did he say, "She changed my life"? Watch till the end. Micah Trent, one of the wealthiest men in the country, wasn't someone you'd expect to stop for anything. With 42 companies, a strict schedule, and a security detail always nearby, his life ran on efficiency. That night, after a high-stakes board meeting downtown, he took a rare solo drive in his vintage Mustang, a way to clear his mind. Rain tapped the windshield like whispers, and his mind replayed numbers, contracts, and deadlines. He wasn't the kind of man to notice anything off track until he did. The bus stop was cracked, the light above it flickered. But what burned into his memory forever was the fragile shape of a child trying to stay warm with scraps of newspaper. It jolted something deep inside, a memory long buried. The next morning, headlines would erupt, but that night? That was the beginning of a story no one could predict. Micah parked and stepped into the rain. She stirred, startled, but too exhausted to flee. Her name was Zaria. She was 6. Her mother had died 2 weeks earlier. An aunt had promised to come get her, but never did. She'd been sleeping at the bus stop for 3 nights, eating vending machine snacks and surviving on scraps handed out by strangers. Micah wrapped his coat around her. She didn't speak much, but when he asked if she was hungry, she nodded her head. He called his driver and canceled his meetings. Zaria didn't know who he was. She only knew he was kind. He took her to a 24-hour diner, fed her pancakes, and waited until she finally fell asleep again, this time in warmth. But it wasn't enough. He contacted the city's emergency services. They were overwhelmed, they said, short-staffed, no beds available for days. She would be placed in holding, a cold room until a space became available. He couldn't believe it. A country worth trillions had no bed for a child? So the next morning, Micah Trent stepped onto a national broadcast unannounced. He didn't talk about tech stocks or AI investments. Instead, he held up Zaria's tiny wet shoe. "This is what failure looks like," he said. He announced a $100 million fund to create safe, transitional homes for homeless children, beginning with Zaria City. And still, people whispered, "Why her? Why now?" They didn't know what he remembered. Micah had also grown up in foster care, but he'd buried that part of himself. He never told investors, colleagues, or even his board. It didn't fit the narrative. But Zaria's tiny body, shivering at a broken bus stop, shattered that silence. That night, he saw himself, abandoned, forgotten, disposable. He realized that becoming a billionaire hadn't healed that child inside. But maybe, just maybe, helping her could. So he signed an executive order. Every corporate property under his name would be evaluated to host child shelters, real estate, tech campuses, even warehouses. His staff thought he was joking. He wasn't. He looked down at Zaria, now sleeping safely in his penthouse guest room, and whispered, "You saved me first." Within weeks, Micah's initiative spread like wildfire. Other CEOs followed. Vacant luxury buildings became safe havens for the wealthy. Zaria, once invisible, became a symbol, not of pity, but power. She now lives with Micah and attends a private school on full scholarship. But Micah changed too. He now speaks not just about innovation, but also about humanity. He reminds people that success means nothing if you can't protect the most vulnerable. One girl at a bus stop changed the course of a billionaire's life, and maybe the country's too. So next time you pass someone unseen, remember this. Sometimes the person you choose not to see is the one who saves you. What would you have done at that red light? And where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments. Take care.